Hello and welcome to our leadership engagement video on hope. We're excited to have Dr. Chan Hellman here to give us an overview of hope and hope navigation and how our systems can utilize the science of hope. Chan, I'm going to have you take it away.
All right, well, thank you, Kelly. And my plan is to give just a real quick overview that really highlights the work that we've been doing in Oklahoma, Mississippi, California, Virginia, and several other states, where we're really creating these hope-centered systems that really focus on improving well-being. So just real quickly, I'm going to share my PowerPoint to give an overview of hope and talk a little bit about some of the outcomes that we are finding. So the first thing that I'd like to just highlight is that this idea of hope is really based upon a robust body of science. There's well over 2,000 published research studies in the areas of medicine, mental health, criminal justice, organizational outcomes, juvenile affairs, a wide variety of different sectors. And these 2,000 published research studies all lead to the same conclusion, that hope is one of the strongest predictors of well-being. So as part of this training series, one of the things that we're going to highlight is the idea that hope is a framework for action. And hope is not the outcome, but the process. And the work that we do is always about improving the well-being and the outcomes of stakeholders and participants. So the question becomes, what is hope? And so for us, hope is the belief that the future will be better than today and that we have the power to make it so. What's really important about this definition is to recognize that hope is a mindset. That is, hope is a way of thinking rather than a feeling or an emotion. The reason this is so important is because if hope was just a feeling that we had, what we know is that at best, we'd be able to help people regulate those emotions. But because hope is a mindset, that hope is a way of thinking, we know that it is something that can be taught. So hope is a cognitive process and a mental framework that improves well-being. The important aspect about hope is that it's made up of three really simple ideas: goals, pathways, and willpower. Goals are the cornerstone of everything that we do around hope. So goals really drive everything. These are the desired outcomes. The question with hope is whether or not we have the pathways, that is the strategies that we're going to use to pursue and attain those goals. Willpower is really the mental energy. It is the endurance that we have to engage in those pathways, especially during times of adversity and stress. What's really important to recognize is that both pathways and willpower are required for hope. We have to have both. So it might be that I have the pathways to the goal, but I have no energy, or I'm just not really interested in those pathways. We actually consider that to be lower hope. Now, alternatively, we may have the willpower, we may have the energy, but we don't know how to get there from here. So hope is really about these three important but simple ideas of setting goals, finding the pathways or the roadmaps to pursue those goals, and generating that willpower to engage in those pathway pursuits. There are really two important takeaways that I would like for you to consider, and we'll go into these deeper in the training. But the first thing is that when I think about the science of hope, I think about the science of hope as a framework that describes the work that you do, that it describes the activities or the pathways that are used to help families and individuals pursue their goals. So programs, services, courtrooms, etc., are pathways of hope. The hard work is really the willpower component. And again, we'll talk more about these things during the training. So the first aspect is, I think this is a framework that describes the work that is already taking place The question becomes, how do we do it with intention of improving outcomes and well-being? The second big takeaway that I'd like for you to recognize at the very beginning is that hope is different than wishing. So if we think about the way we typically use the word hope, I hope you have a great day. I hope you're well. It's this idea that willpower or the desire for some outcome without pathways is simply wishing. Hope goes beyond wishing in that hope is about finding the strategies or taking action to pursue those goals. Wishing is passive towards the goals.